Hello, I'm Carole Le Page, and I'm currently the Social Policy Officer at the Guernsey Disability Alliance. But previous to that, I used to work for SAFER. And if you don't know, SAFER is the island's domestic violence charity. So anything to do with domestic abuse, sexual violence within relationships, that's where SAFER can help you. So, thank you so much to all the brave people that have spoken and shared their experiences today to show and demonstrate how much sexual violence there is in Guernsey and how normalised that is. And thank you to the organisers for inviting me to speak and for actually organising this. But isn't it great that we are actually able to be out and we have this freedom? Isn't it sad that so many people feel that they can't come out, that they feel because of their experiences or because of their fear of coming out down into the town that they aren't here tonight as well? So, the basis of what I want to say is that all is not bad in Guernsey, but it could be an absolutely huge amount better. We are lucky to live in such a fantastic island, but it is an island that has its problems. In the last police report, I think some figures have already been said. The last police report was from 2019. There was 137 sexual assaults within that report that were reported as crimes to the police. And let's face it, that is the tip of the iceberg. As we've already heard, most people don't consider what has happened to them necessarily as something that they want to report to the police. And there are lots of reasons behind that. But it means that 137 is very much the tip of the iceberg. Out of that 137, there were 51 rapes that year. That is nearly one rape a week. Out of those 137 reported crimes of sexual violence and sexual offences, only 6 were actually summoned or went to court. So you can see that there is a huge difference between what actually is being experienced by women in the islands and men and children and what is actually coming and being seen in court, which gives the impression, because that's what gets reported, that there is very little sexual violence or sexual offences happening. That's not the case at all. If there's one message to take home and explain to everybody, please explain that. We are fortunate though, very serious crimes that, as happened to Sarah on Clapham Common, or where I used to live, actually very close to the bandstand, by the Windmill pub. I used to live right on Clapham Common, so it really brought it home to me. And living there in the 80s, it was in those days a quite difficult place to live, with some violence going on all the time, and one person even outside my hall of residence being attacked. So it was not the greatest place, but we say, you know, that she was careful, she had a phone. We shouldn't be blaming the victim or looking for a mitigation or excuses. She shouldn't need to be doing this. We shouldn't need to be taking our sirens, our alarms, our keys, you know, only going home with a friend or making sure that we always keep our drink tight to our hand and never leave a bottle or anything down. We shouldn't need to do this. We should be able to trust the people in our community to respect us, to be safe around us, to make sure that we actually are safe in each other's company. But sadly, that's not the case. And the experiences of the people tonight have been very hard-hitting and very truthful in what they feel and how embarrassed they were or how difficult it was to speak out. And we shouldn't be feeling this. We should be able to speak to people about our experiences, about what's happened to us. And it shouldn't be normal that this shouldn't be an acceptable way forward. So I was going to say some things about the good things. So we have witness and victim support. We have education in schools through the Youth Commission. So there are things that are going on. Obviously we have Safer. There are things going on, but there isn't a collective way, a place that is centralised that we can go to. Now, I know, I think Sasha's here somewhere in the audience, I don't know if Yvonne is, but an amendment's been laid to the government work plan this week to look at setting up a sexual assault referral centre. And that's going to be, if that goes through the states, that would be an amazing place where somebody could go who's been assaulted and actually get the medical treatment, the counselling, all of that service wrapped in one. And more importantly, they wouldn't need to necessarily report it to the police, but the evidence would be collected forensically, and should they want to report later on, then that evidence would have been collected. But it's not there and then. They don't need to make a decision. It would be all done at their own speed. And that would be, if that goes through the states, a absolutely phenomenal thing for the island to have, and would be in addition to the services that are already about. And I can't stop but mention on the street pastors when I always think of safety in the town over the weekends, and the lollipops and the flip-flops. But they're there also to make sure that we're all safe. And it's sad that most of the people that come to them, the ones that spend some time with them, they actually are quite often, they've had a fight with boyfriend and there's difficulty, and they feel that they're to blame. And the street pastors have said this in the past, and it's so sad that we have those people, and yet so inspiring that there are those great people out there to do that work. So on this last note, I just would like a rallying cry in terms of it's a societal system thing that we need to change. So the change is within us, it's in everybody to take away and to make sure that the message gets out there to everybody. Guernsey is a safe place, but it could be a lot safer. Let's collectively make sure that we can do that, make sure that we can change our systems, change the culture, don't normalise this, and make sure that we are living together in one community that's safe. Thank you.